If I were to ask you what the worst Fortnite season of all time is, what would you say? You could say something like Chapter 4 Season 3, maybe even Chapter 3 Season 4. And you can probably even say that Chapter 1 Season 10 was one of the worst seasons ever. But when you think of worst Fortnite season ever, the thing that comes to mind is most likely Chapter 2 Season 6 by far. But was this season really that bad? And if it was, why was it bad? Well, in this video, that is what I am here to explain. The first thing that we need to talk about is going to be the Battle Pass in Chapter 2 Season 6. Now, I think that the Chapter 2 Season 6 Battle Pass was the best part of the season, and we got some amazing skins, just like Jonesy with like 8 edit styles. They're all amazing, and the skin has to do with the storyline, something that is not even in the game anymore. We also got Lara Croft, a very famous character from a video game, part of the gaming's like legend set or whatever it's called. And this skin was a really cool skin, and to this day it's still used a lot. It's a main like sweat skin, and that was an amazing skin too. We also had the meme skin of the season, which was Cluck, and Cluck was a very funny chicken with a slurp style. Pretty, cool and everything, and I think it was a pretty W skin. We also got Raven from Teen Titans Go. It was an amazing skin. Even all the other Teen Titans Go skins in the game right now are amazing, and honestly, I just love this skin. I think the design is cool, and I think that while it's not a sweat skin, it's definitely a very cool skin just to run if you want to have a unique sweat skin. Then we had the Spire Assassin, which was kind of like I don't even know what you call her, like a freaking guardian type person. I don't really know. But she was a okay skin. I think they could have done better with it. It's just like a big purple skin with like a weird looking ear crown thing, and it's just not that cool. That is one skin I do not like. And then we have Raz, which is just kind of like a normal standard guy skin with purple, and definitely one of my least favorite skins in the game like ever. I hate that skin so much. But I mean, other than those two skins, the Battle Pass wasn't terrible. We also had like this one like dinosaur girl from Chapter 2 Season 6 Battle Pass, and I don't even remember her name, but that skin was just not that good at all. I mean, it was better than Raz and Spire Assassin, but no one really cared for it. Overall, though, I would rate the Chapter 2 Season 6 Battle Pass about a 7 out of 10. You might think I'm being generous, but I really did like it, and I thought that it actually was not terrible. Next up is going to be the Chapter 2 Season 6 map, and in my opinion, this is one of the worst maps. We got some of the worst POIs ever, and this is another reason, probably the main reason, that in my opinion made this season really bad. With the addition of Chapter 2 Season 6, we got something called Bony Burbs, which is tilted towers, but it was broken down. It looked like some exotic forest with buildings, and it was just very like freaking Indian style, and it was just not cool. No one landed there. It was such a boring place, and just no one liked it. We also had the addition of like Colossal Crops or something like that, and it was like Frenzy Farm, but broken down, Bony Burbs type style. It was very dinosaur-ish, a long time ago style, and even though it was, the theme of the season, it just really didn't go, it just didn't look good, and no one really liked it. We also had these, like, towers that you could launch off of them and go across the map, and they were just simple towers with, like, no loot, and they could have, did a way better design to make them more interesting, and they were just kind of mid and no one really cared. Overall, though, I would rate the map for Chapter 2 Season 6 like a 2 out of 10. None of the places hit. None of them were cool. Unlike Chapter, 5 Season 2, I guess. While that season wasn't good, the POIs are amazing, and these POIs just didn't hit like that. Now, the next part of this video is going to be the loot pool. Now, why I did say the map was probably one of the worst parts of the season, the loot pool is really what defines the game because that is what you use to fight. And this was a terrible loot pool, definitely the worst in Fortnite. With the introduction of Chapter 2 Season 6, we had makeshift and primal weapons. The makeshift weapons were weapons that shoot very clunky, and they're very hard to hit your shots. Now, when you did hit your shots, you would be rewarded very low damage. Now, with the primal weapons, they were a little bit easier to hit your shots with. They did better damage, but overall, the standard Chapter 2 and Chapter 1 weapons that we've been using were a lot better, and if you got a primal weapon that was gold, or maybe even purple, you really didn't care because it was just not good. We also got the introduction of the bows, which were pretty cool because, you get the shockwave bow, the explosive bow, and each bow had a different unique ability, but to be honest, it didn't really hit the hardest. Snipers are 100% better, and to be honest with you, it was just really not that good, and no one really cared for them. At the time, they were the best, but now they would be terrible. Overall, though, I would give the loot pool like a 1 out of 10 because none of the new guns at all felt good to use. You would rather use like mechs in the meta than even use the new guns, and honestly, it's just a terrible, terrible loot pool. Next up, I'm going to be talking about the hated features in Chapter 2, Season 6, and yes, I am talking about the crafting system, something I would never want to see back into the game because it was just so weird, didn't work good, and it did not reward you at all. With the introduction of Chapter 2, Season 6, we got a crafting system, and this crafting system made it to where once you got the gun, like the makeshift, you could craft it into a pump, but in order to do that, you had to go around the map, you can break cars, or even search these mini red toolboxes to get parts, like, you know, these weird mechanical parts and different parts that you need in order to upgrade and craft your weapon. And while this might sound like a very, very, very cool system here, it would take forever just to get all the items you need to upgrade your gun. It felt like a chore, and it was just not that fun to do. And at the end of the day, it only gave you the Chapter 2 weapons that we've been using for a long time, and not a bunch of new weapons that were really good. So it really just didn't feel that rewarding, and no one really cared for it. Overall, though, I would give the crafting, feature, one of the most hated features ever, like a 2 out of 10. It could have been a lot more unique. You could have gotten new items, not just our old standard Chapter 2 items. It could have been easier to find parts. Maybe instead of making it like a chore, you can go do something to get the parts that's, better than just searching stuff. And they could have just made it a lot better, but they didn't. And that's just kind of what made the crafting system super duper bad. Overall, though, after looking over the Chapter 2 Season 6 Battle Pass loot pool map and hated features, what would I rate this season? In my opinion, again, this is my opinion, I would rate the season like a 3 out of 10. I thought that the Battle Pass was really good. The loot pool lacked a lot. The crafting system was just a chore and not unique. And the map was one of the worst things to ever live in the game. And I thought that the season had potential, but they just didn't deliver. If you did enjoy this video though, and you want to see more of these videos where I review guns, maybe even items, and even battle passes on the game, do not forget to like and subscribe. This took me about 3 hours to make, even though it was such a short video, and I'm always just trying to grind on YouTube. And yeah guys, I'll see you in the next video, everybody. Peace out.